Welcome to Penny for Your Shots, Conversations and Cocktails with Brilliant Women, the podcast where we uncork the stories and insights of exceptional female leaders from all walks of life. Our goal is to serve up wisdom, tips, and inspiration, and to support each other in rediscovering ourselves and what sets our souls on fire. We'll also share personal memories, paired with friends and a favorite beverage. I'm your host, Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe that the best stories are served up over a glass of wine or a cocktail. So grab a glass, get comfy, and let's pour ourselves into Penny for Your Shots.
Shrylle McKinnon is a life coach on a mission to support women in loving their life and going beyond surviving into thriving. We both see women putting their own dreams on hold because they're busy helping everyone else. It's easy to get stuck in the motions and the day-to-day, and even get comfortable with being busy. The growth happens outside of your comfort zone, and by definition, that's uncomfortable. But you don't have to do it alone or all at once. Take baby steps. A step is a step. Are you ready for more? Do you need support in remembering your dream or a little courage in moving toward it? We should talk. Here is Shrylle McKinnon.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me well?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Right on.
Yeah, that's great. It was great to see you.
Yes, likewise.
Wonderful.
In the flesh, as flesh as we can get from a couple states across.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, for my listeners' benefit, Shrylle and I had a conversation this morning and decided that we're in alignment. Yes, we think a lot of things alike, I think. Have a lot of philosophies, and our attitudes are similar, and we both come from a place of service. And gosh, I'm so excited to share your story.
Absolutely. Likewise. I actually listened to a couple episodes. I told Penny this morning, I said, before I come on, I just want to listen to, we connected last week, and
Yeah.
it went off so quickly that we were like, let's meet. And so we had this phone call this morning, and then I jumped and listened to a couple episodes, and I was like, you said, you used the phrase things that set your soul on fire. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I used that one too.
Oh.
And there were a couple others. Also, I cannot believe that you've never heard the phrase get your poop in a group.
Oh. No, I had not, but yeah, it's festive.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Maybe, am I the only one?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what your listeners say.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Shrylle, tell everyone a little bit about you. You are a coach as well, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm a life and leadership coach. I've been on my own for 2 years now, almost 2 years, coaching women who really crave that more type of feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but don't have the courage or the confidence to step out and do it. They're going through that eat, sleep, work, repeat type lifestyle, and maybe it feels good, but they're not taking the time to step back and ask the questions like, what sets my soul on fire? What do I really want out of life? And I so strongly believe, I saw this in the corporate world. I was a manager and a leader and a trainer, so it was what I'd always done. And I loved having people come in and do their job and feel successful and have a good attitude and come in and give their best, right? And so then I would ask deeper questions like, so what do you have coming? What are you excited for? What are you working towards? And they're like, oh, I don't know. This is kind of it. Like, I'm here to do my
Yeah.
job. And it was like, wait a second. And I just kept hearing that and hearing that. And I'd always been curious about personal growth. I've been reading books about personal growth and law of attraction and becoming your best self and high achieving. That's just what I do for fun. And when I realized that I couldn't really pull that into the corporate world so much and help people see outside the box, I was like, I just have to do this. I have to answer this calling, right?
Yeah.
And I kept telling my employees as I would hire new people that success breeds success. And I'm
Mm.
sure you've heard this. That's not a Shrylle original. It's I told my employees, like, if you come into work and you're struggling, maybe you have a sick child or family member, or you've got some bills that are struggling, or you're a student and you need better balance, I need you to tell me those things because I want you to feel successful here at work so that when you feel successful here, you're going to go home and have a better attitude with your family. And then you're not snipping up as much at your children, right? And that then your children go to school and they're in a better mood with their teachers because they have a healthier relationship with their family. And then you get a raise at work because you're showing up and you're feeling good about yourself. And this concept of success breeds success is so captivating and empowering and can fit into any facet, but you have to stop and ask the questions. And
Mm-hmm.
having, over the course of a couple of years, having such a passion for that side of things, but also the business and the leadership and personal accountability and responsibility to help drive and create that success is just, it's what sets my soul on fire. And then getting connect with people like yourself, Penny, is just so fun.
That's awesome. Yes, I agree. And, we get so busy, we're just putting one foot in front of the other and doing what we can to survive, many of us, especially I remember back in the corporate days. I loved what I did. I loved the people that I was working with, especially. But yeah, it was not, um, yeah, it didn't set my soul on fire. Yeah. So moving into other things, but yeah, you get so caught up in the trap of just being busy and you're busy all the time. And we were talking earlier about, if you're in that pattern of I'm busy, 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 then when you start to realize that, oh my gosh, I want more. And I don't remember what my more is, or maybe it's changed, or something in my life has changed. Like I'm going through, my kids are moving on to college, or now I'm an empty nester, or now I've got a grandbaby, and those kinds of things. You just, you get caught in that trap of busyness. And it's an easy way. When you're busy, you don't have to think about more. You don't have to challenge yourself, and you stay comfortable and you stay small and your voice is not heard. So
Hmm.
what you're doing is so important to recognize while you're still young. And we talked about this too, that it's never too late, first of all, to do what you want, or to follow your heart. And we're a whole person. When you're not feeling whole, you don't bring your best self to a corporate job or to your family or to what you're doing day to day. You need to be a whole person. And I say in my trainings too, that you're a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. So, if your mouth is saying yes, but your soul is saying no, it's just, no, it's a hard way to
My
live.
mind's telling me yes, but my body. I think it's the other way around, but that's
Yes.
that's so true that you're satisfied, and we shared this too, right? When you're a mom or you're caught up in your corporate career or whatever the thing is that you're doing in this phase of your life, if you're feeling busy, you might
Mm-hmm.
also feel fulfilled, but it's because you're not
Yeah.
stopping to ask those questions. And that's okay. It's okay if you're feeling fulfilled and you're happy, that's great. But what happens if that stops? And that's kind of the phase where you're meeting so many of these women that are in this dramatic transition phase of now I'm an empty nester. Now my kids are gone to college. Now I'm going through a divorce. Now I'm leaving my corporate career. And what do I have for me? What do I even like? And so I want to tap into women before they reach that phase and help them ask those questions because it's fun. It's fun to
Mm-hmm.
play with the possibilities and explore your hobbies and try new things. And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so many people think that it's scary or, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. I don't know how to bake a pumpkin pie. I'm baking a pumpkin pie from scratch for Thanksgiving this year. Not a
Nice.
clue how to do it, but I'm gonna try. And um that's part of the fun. And with that
Yeah.
energy, when you get into that playful place of energy, it creates this happiness, and who knows what that can turn into.
Right. Right. We don't play enough. Like think of little kids, little kids are always playing and all the world is like they're experimenting and they're making stuff up. And like a rock can be whatever they want it to be, and they play. What if we incorporated a little bit more playfulness into our lives? How would we create? What would we build together? And yeah, I just want to encourage. I want to play more. It's great having grandkids because you're getting down on the floor with them and playing with blocks and all the things, and it's just wow. The the way that they think is just incredible. Just to watch that.
Yeah, it's a blessing to kind of pull you back into that childlike wonder
Yeah,
of.
exactly. Yeah, so cool. So, Shrylle, you mentioned that you are doing more speaking. Um, what are some of the things that you're doing, or what are you speaking about? Um,
So some of the things that I like to speak about are kind of all the concepts we spoke about now. So whether
mhm,
I'm speaking to a foundation or a corporation or a group of leaders in a small business or a group of women in like a retreat type space,
mhm,
right? So those are kind of the two facets thus far. But the conversation is kind of the same, maybe with just a little bit different language. So, what is personal leadership? How do you create success? What is your brain telling you that's holding you back from accomplishing your goals? And what sets your soul on fire? How do you start dreaming? How do you get into that play place? And why is it important? And what does it mean to you? A huge piece of people lacking success. Well, part of it is, people, there's this, I can't think of the word right now, but when somebody is like, oh, I don't want to be successful. I don't want to be rich. There's like a negative belief behind
a
a rich
bias.
person is a greedy person, a successful
Oh,
person is a snobby person.
okay.
And so
Hmm.
people almost hold themselves back like, "Oh, I couldn't want that. I don't want success. I'm so humble. I'm so
Oh
humble that I
gosh.
don't want to be any better. I'm good enough as I am, and that's okay." It's like, but you're capable of so much more, and that's okay. And think about what you could do if you were
Yeah.
reaching your highest potential and how many people you could impact and influence and inspire. And there's nothing humble about that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was kind of
There's
a side tangent, but
no, that's good stuff. Because a lot of us, I think we have these limiting beliefs that came to us from our past, from our ancestors, from our parents, and from their parents. So the thing about money, I growing up, I heard, oh, rich people are probably, that belief comes from somewhere. So if you find a rich person who is not doing good in the world, you can also find an example of a rich person who is using their wealth to really do really good things. There are there's whatever evidence you're looking for, you're going to find, no matter
100.
what the scenario. Yeah, yeah. So how could you use your power for good? If you've got this something in you that you want to do, but you're like, no, I'm too humble to do that. Really? That sounds like ego talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're too afraid. There's a fear in there that's holding you back. And if you like hanging out at home and not doing anything and sitting on the couch, more power to you. You don't you don't need to prove anything to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got that question in the back of your mind that, well, I wonder what would have happened if I would have done XYZ, then yeah, if you've got a question in the back of your mind, there is an answer for it. There is a way to get there. There's no question in your mind that comes to you that there isn't an answer for. God doesn't give
Yeah,
you the question without the answer.
100%. And Penny, it's so easy, I think, to be on the couch and be comfortable and be satisfied and be content because we're distracted by whatever it
Yes.
is you're distracted by, right? Social media, your family, your kids. It kind of goes back to that staying in the comfort zone. And
Mm-hmm.
if you really stopped for a moment and asked yourself some of these questions, like, am I truly happy? Am I fulfilled? when was the last time I really felt so much joy? Like you only have one opportunity to live this life. Maybe there's more, maybe there's after, maybe there's multiple lives. But for right now, this is what we know that we have. Why
Mhm.
would you just like chill and not try all the things?
Yeah. Who could
There's
you
so
be
much
serving?
adventure. Yes.
Yeah. Who could you help? Who could you lift up by the things that you know or by your your way in this world? If you're bringing joy to other people, why are you holding that back?
I
You could
think that
be helping
sometimes
people.
the reason is, and you addressed this in one of your podcasts, Penny, is that people don't believe that they have any talents worth sharing.
Oh gosh, that just breaks my heart. Yeah, I've heard that so many times. I'll ask women who I know are brilliant and are fabulous people, and I'll ask them to be on my show, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have anything to say. I don't, nobody wants to, I don't, know. It's not important." Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
And you are important. You deserve to be heard.
I think that when you shared that, maybe that was in our conversation this morning. Anyway, when I first thought of that, I thought of my grandmother, who is
Mm,
she's always been a stay-at-home housewife, and
hmm.
she took care of the whole entire farm in the order of feeding them and doing the laundry and
Yep.
cooking and gardening. She's been gardening for 50 years, and I'll call her and ask her advice. She's like, "Oh, I don't really know." I'm like, "Yes, you do know. You know so much."
Yeah,
And the truth is, she was also like, "You just kind of have to try and find out and see what happens," which is 100%
that's
truth,
good.
right?
Yeah.
But also, like there's it gave me the sense that she didn't feel like she had value and knowledge to
Yeah.
offer. And
Yep.
it doesn't matter what it is about, right? I was so interested and could have hung on her every word if she would
Yep.
have shared her experience. And that's part of it too. Share your experience, whether you're 25 or 65, you have a
Hmm.
story and an experience to share. And I think sometimes I even catch myself with this, like I don't have this deep, dark, sad, traumatic story to share for people to
Yeah.
connect with, but it doesn't have to be that.
No. I know. For a long time too, like in business, like especially, previous businesses I've been in, if you have a story, it it's, it tells it shows rather than tells. But yeah, there's nothing traumatic, but it's still a story. Like your background, the things that you've done, your experiences, the people you know, the places you've been, all of it is part of your story, and you have wisdom that you don't know. You just don't even know how important you are.
The other thing that helps me broaden my belief in myself, I guess, is to
Hmm.
remember that there's what, 7+ billion people on this world, and you cannot fathom 7 billion people. I picture this diagram that I've seen before that's like dots. It's just a simple diagram of dots. This is 100 dots. And then this
Hmm.
is 1 million dots. And you have to scroll and scroll and scroll to see a million. And
Hmm.
there's now multiply that times the billion. There's 7 billion people in this world. And if you believe that your story is not worth hearing or that somebody can't connect or relate to that, you're wrong. There's just a huge world out there. And I try to remember that when I think like, who could this relate to, or am I reaching the right people? Like, wait, there's so many people you haven't even had the opportunity to connect or reach with
Yeah.
that share your interests. Think about there's so many weird interests out there that maybe aren't for me. Even
Yeah.
something as simple as like the people who collect toys from the 90s.
Yeah.
There's
Beanie
a
Babies.
whole huge community that like they have events and conferences.
Oh my gosh.
So you name it, and you can find a community that
Yeah.
is passionate about crocheting or learning how to garden or whatever the thing is.
Hmm.
So if there's something that you're curious about or knowledgeable about, one side of coin or the other, you can find your people out there somewhere.
That's right. Well, one person's weird is another person's wonderful.
Yes, I love that. One person's weird is
Oh my
another
gosh.
person's wonderful.
Yeah, I was talking with an aunt a while back too, and her story was just fascinating. The way she grew up, in her household. And I won't tell her story because it's not mine to tell, but she's one that she would not. I asked her to be on my podcast, and she's in her 80s, I think. And oh no, I couldn't. Like, oh my God, your story is so fascinating. People would love to hear it. Just the way she grew up, like without running water or without electricity and all those kinds of things from, that's a novel. You can write a book about it. It's so incredible. But yeah, it's sad to hear someone say, oh no, my story's not valuable.
Hmm. So, what ways do you find, Penny, to help people find that value in themselves?
I just keep trying. I keep talking to people, and the more people I talk to, the more people I ask to be on the podcast, the more people that join my classes or um, that I connect with, either in person or on social media. I just try and encourage everyone to share their voice and to tell their story. So, I'll keep asking.
Hmm. I think
Yeah.
sometimes that's part of it, just asking the question and showing genuine interest
Hmm.
and like, hey, I'm interested. I want to hear your story. And if I do, then somebody else probably does too.
Exactly. Exactly. That's right. And what a legacy that is for, like, I just think of like my aunt or my mother-in-law, how much of a gift would that be to record their story in their voice for their grandchildren and great grandchildren. And, that's a gift. I think it's
Hmm.
very cool. And I'm grateful to be able to do that.
Even in the way, that how quickly um, society and technology has evolved in the last century, that there's
Hmm.
still people who grew up without water. And in
Hmm.
a very small amount of time, we won't know or understand of that experience, but we have the technology to capture those stories in
Yeah.
such a captivating way that sure there's books that tell of those stories, but the power of the voice is so
Yeah.
much more impactful than
Yeah.
I mean it can be in words as well, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I would have loved to have heard my grandparents' voices. And I was really little when they passed away because, well, this is a long story. And I think my people know this, but my parents were much older when I was born. My dad, um, made it to almost 103, and mom passed away at 91. And they were, gosh, dad was 48, I think, when I was born, and mom was 41 or 2.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So, and back in the 60s, that's unheard of, So I grew up with a lot of those stories stick in my brain, but it was, they passed away before I started the podcast, before it was a thing to record. I do have a recording of my dad's voice. I'm really excited about that, but I don't have my mom. And just, it'd be so cool to have those kinds of things, to be able to listen to their voice.
Yeah. Yep, definitely a power of connection in the voice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and she had Alzheimer's too for, gosh, the last 10 or 15 years of her life. So it was really difficult to even connect. It was, it was a different way to connect in the last years of her life. But yeah, all of our histories, they bring us to where we are today.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, as I'm getting to know you, I'm curious if this mindset that you have, this belief
Hmm.
and enthusiasm for fun and experiencing the most out of life, do you feel like you've always had that and that's always been a part of your personality, or do you feel like it's something that you sought after or something changed or that you created?
That's a great question. I think I've always been this way. And it's just now I'm figuring out how to bring it out, bring it out really. I mean, I've always had fun with people. I've always loved making people laugh. back in high school, I was, in the plays and all that, and I loved that. Just absolutely loved it. And I love public speaking, which is very weird. I understand. I love to entertain people. I love to have fun. Um, yeah. So I think I've always been this way, but now I'm really honing that and helping other people with it more than just having fun with it. Still have fun
Mhm.
with it, but now it's got more of a purpose behind it.
Harnessing it and the
Yeah.
purpose. You keep talking about we were talking earlier about the fulfillment piece when you're
Hmm.
feeling fulfilled, but if you stop and ask the questions, are you actually feeling fulfilled? And I think a lot of that comes from finding a purpose to serve, right?
Yes.
They talk about how when you retire, so many people will die shortly thereafter
Mm-hmm.
because their purpose was to work and maybe to serve their family and to save for retirement or what have you. And then when they no longer have that, it's like, okay, well, now what? They're no
Mm-hmm.
longer tied to any kind of purpose. And I think that's where creating and seeking that at a younger, at whatever age, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to find that purpose and that mission to give back and
Mm-hmm.
serve the world, right? Gandhi was like, be the change you wish to see in the world and
Oh gosh.
create
Mm-hmm.
those changes to give yourself your own purpose and
Yeah.
enjoy it along the way and have fun.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Or find a hobby. Start with that.
Hmm.
Something that you love to do and then do it with some other people. See how that feels. And yeah, try some new things on. Does that does that make you laugh? Do you have fun with it? Yeah, there are all kinds of opportunities out there to keep going. That's one thing my dad always said. What advice would you give? Well, you got to keep it going. That's what I would always say. Like, okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
that is a
So
good one,
true.
right? Keep going,
Hmm.
keep trying. And
Yeah.
if you ask people like, oh, why haven't you tried XYZ? Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm not capable. Like, how do you know that? I
Yeah.
think my son
I'm
will be
too
like, oh,
old.
yeah, I'm too old. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get that education. It's like, right, but it's
Go get it.
opportunity is everywhere. And
Yeah.
we're all just figuring, that's something my dad always says. Like, how's it going, Dad? Or what do you do? Oh, I'm just trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure it out. Your parents
Yeah.
know what they were doing as they were parenting you. They just figured it out along the way. They didn't know how to do their career when they stepped into it. We just learn
Mm-hmm.
as we grow. And I think people let fear get in the way of
Oh, totally.
fear of what though?
Yeah. Well, when we're comfortable, we don't grow. If you're yeah, our brain is trying to keep us safe. Trying something new is uncomfortable. So let's stay comfortable and not learn something new. Well, to me, that's sad.
Hmm.
Unless you're loving what you're doing, that's cool. If you have a hobby or you love to read or whatever, that's
I
all
think
good.
there's
You do
like
you.
two fields of people that we can tap into there. The person who's like on the couch and comfortable and like mostly is enjoying life, but they
Hmm.
have so much more potential that is untapped, right? So I do want to tap
Right.
into that person, but I don't want to pull them away from their comfort. But also, I want to challenge you a little bit to grow outside that comfort
Yeah.
zone. And then there's the person who's on the couch who might have a hobby, but who is really miserable, but is too scared to take
Mm.
the next step. So there's
Oh, yeah.
both those schools of people that have so much potential to do something more and enjoy life. And I had a post the other day on Facebook. More to me isn't like more money or more to-dos or more things or
Mm-mm.
more responsibility. The
Right.
more is more passion, more purpose, more
Yeah.
energy, more fulfillment, more meaning, more
Fun.
fun. Right. Like
Yeah.
if you have to cook dinner, throw some music on and open the windows and make it
There
fun.
you go. Yep.
And your attitude and your perspective is everything.
Yeah. It could be more time with girlfriends or more time with family or more time reading a book or taking a bath, whatever it is. Just
Yeah,
something
little
that brings
simple
you joy.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so many people would say like, "Oh, I don't have time for any of that." Well, like it takes 5 minutes to sit down and read a couple pages of a book. Just start with
Yeah.
5 minutes. Don't overwhelm yourself and be like, I'm gonna commit to reading 6 books a month and I'm gonna make this much. Like, take some of the pressure off. Just read a couple pages. And if you don't like that book,
Wow.
try something else. Read a picture book if reading is the thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
make it fun, like you're saying.
that's right. Read a book to your grandkids or your
There you
children
go.
or your cat.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Wow. Well, and that it reminds me too, we're coming up on the end of the year here and pretty quick people are going to be making New Year's resolutions and setting themselves up for either success or not. And you do you. You do you. And it's hard to see people beat themselves up for not meeting a goal that is maybe a little lofty or not quite in alignment with what they really, really want.
I think that it's both of those things. The name of my company is Align Life Works. When you align your life with your values and your purpose and your passion, life just works.
Oh, I
And
love that.
thank you. It perfectly makes sense, right? When you're in
It
alignment,
does.
something that sets your soul on fire, life
Uh-huh.
is just easier and breezier. And in relation to the New Year's goal coming up, I am speaking with so many women and asking specific questions like, what is your big vision for your business or
Mm.
your life? What is your goal? And asking this question, they're like, oh, to be financially free, oh, to travel more, which is great. That's beautiful. But
Mm-hmm.
what does that actually mean to you? What
Yeah,
do
right.
you need to get there? And so when it
Mm,
comes to setting these goals, they're not only maybe too lofty, but there's no clarity. Oh, you want to
mm-hmm.
lose 30 pounds? How about instead you just focus on one single habit to change, or you focus on losing 3 pounds first? Because
Mm-hmm.
30 pounds, when was the last time you lost 30 pounds? Maybe never. So then it feels unattainable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Right.
That's such a
Right.
great point that it doesn't have to be failed New Year's resolutions again. If you
Right.
learn how to properly goal set, get in touch with your why, pick a goal that
Exactly.
feels good and exciting, right? If you don't want to lose
Mm-hmm.
30 pounds, but you feel like you should,
Yeah, that's not going to
forget
work.
that goal.
Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not about grinding it out. It's not about hustling harder, grinding, doing the things that are hard, having more willpower. No, it's got to feel right. It's got to feel good. And when it does, you're in alignment. That's when you really make progress,
Yeah.
towards something that's real instead of, yeah, that'd be good to have, or that'd be good to strive for. I should do that. That would be a good thing. That's what good people do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says who?
All right. Yeah,
Who's making
exactly.
these arbitrary rules that, oh,
Exactly.
don't set up your Christmas tree to who cares? Do it whenever.
Yeah,
Leave it up all year long if you want.
do what makes you happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Light that thing up.
Heck yeah.
Oh, very cool. Shrylle, what else are you working on, or what's your passion this for next year? What are you going to do? What's up your sleeve?
Ooh. So I have my current goal that I've been working on for the past 2 months I shared this morning is just putting myself in the room, really forcing myself outside my comfort zone and building
Uh-huh.
connections and networking and meeting people who are in alignment, who set my soul on fire, right? I never want to be the smartest person in the room. And you become most like the 5 people you spend your time with.
Exactly.
So I'm sitting
Mhm.
here in my office. I'm like, who am I becoming right now here in my office? It's all in my imagination. So I had to like find some of that inspiration. And so as I've tailored some of these relationships in the next year, I really want to foster some of those. And I believe that will open the door for more speaking opportunities. I have a specific goal for at least 10 podcasts. And so here's one. Let's knock that knock that off.
Awesome.
Um, And I do have a course available. I created it, gosh, at the beginning of this year, actually. And then I never sold the course. It's just sitting in this little hole in Kajabi. So I'd like to put that out for people. It's a personal leadership
Yes.
course that is
Uh-huh.
so valuable. And I love
What
the
held you back? Why did you not release it?
Sure, that's a great question. I didn't release it because my vision when I created the course was to do
Mm-hmm.
group coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I still want to do that because I love the idea of helping more people at one time and also having a community, a room of people that I'm getting to speak to. But I put pause on that because I really wanted to focus on the one-on-one side of things. I wanted to really deep dive into the current one-on-one clients that I had and to also increase that number more to really hone my skills and my strengths and my abilities in the one-on-one phase before going into group because I've experienced both. I've had group coaching and I have done one-on-one coaching. I prefer the one-on-one coaching personally,
Uh-huh.
but I love the group because of the ability to reach so many people, right? And the camaraderie and the connections that you can form in the right container. So, I paused to put a little focus over here, but in the next year, I think it'll be a smooth little shift and grow both simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I feel like group coaching allows participants to learn from each other too, because a question that one person has, surely another person has it as well. And the perspective from other people is valuable. One thing I hear from female entrepreneurs all the time is that they don't want to feel salesy. They don't want to bug their friends and family, and they don't want to hustle and grind for sales. They may have received some bad advice telling them to post more on social media. So they post and they post and they post. And that doesn't feel good. So they either stop, are inconsistent, or don't convey the right message. I'm Penny Fitzgerald, and I've been training women entrepreneurs for more than 18 years, leading one of the top 3 direct selling teams in my former company. And now I'm providing my proven language, systems, and tools that will help you serve your customers rather than feel like you're selling or like you're constantly working. I've put together a 3-day free live event to teach female entrepreneurs a radically different way of running your business, so it's not running you. A way of doing business that's in service of others. One you can be proud of, where your customers will love you. And one that helps you reach your goals. I'm holding this event starting on Monday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. You can save your spot by going to my website. That's pennyforyourshots.com and click the green button at the top labeled Save My Spot. Or just text the word SERVE to 319-448-3545 and I'll text you back that direct link. This course is normally $297, but I'm offering it to you for free. Don't miss your opportunity to shift your business from selling to serving. I hope you'll join me, and I can't wait to toast to your success. Cheers. You promise you're going to release it next year?
Promise.
Okay. Auntie Penny wants you to release that.
Sounds good. I'll hold me to it.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah.
You said that about somebody else has that question. The other thing about being in a room is, let's say I was listening to this podcast and this woman was talking about going to Disney with her family and she hired a personal escort to like give them this private tour through Disney and they got all these cool perks and he showed her the ins and outs and I
Mm-hmm.
never knew that that existed. Now,
Yeah.
that's not really a dream of mine, but I use that as an example because in groups, as we share our big dreams, you open this paradigm of like, wow, I never even knew that that was a possible
Right.
dream that I could have. Like, cool, I want that for me too. Like,
Yeah.
you're sharing about your retreat, your wine
Wine camp.
wine
Yeah.
camp. Like,
Yeah.
millions and millions of people have no idea that something like that exists, but they're like, that
Mm-hmm.
is so cool. That would be so fun. So I think that's another benefit of being in uh, a group setting is opening your paradigms to ideas that you
That's
never
right.
knew were possible. Expanding the
Mm-hmm.
dream, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Learning from each other and catching a catching a vision. Yeah, I love that. Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
I'll,
So
I'll,
what I haven't asked you that you want to share with people?
hmm, I want to share with people. I mean, we really covered a lot of things that are my basis in philosophy, but the biggest thing that I want to tell people is like, don't be afraid to ask questions, to reach out and ask for help and ask for support. And there's really amazing and incredible things that can happen when you connect with a coach who can hold you accountable and help you dream bigger and help you find belief in yourself and belief in what's possible and help you create the confidence to create a life that you never dreamed of or that you've always dreamed of. And
Mm,
there's a coach for everything in the whole entire world, right? There's piano teachers and there's basketball teachers and there's golf coaches and there's speaking coaches and there's acting coaches.
mm.
There's coaches for divorced women. There's coaches for young entrepreneurs. There's business coaches. There's coaches to teach you how to do coding. Like whatever your interest is or your
Yeah,
fear is, tap into that and ask the questions and then seek somebody to offer that support for you because it can change your world in ways that you never imagined.
absolutely. Yeah, and the accountability piece I think is so big too. You know, when you've said your dream out loud or you've, shared something that you want, you've put it out there, and then you'll start seeing evidence for, oh, this is how it's gonna, I can see it. And your coach believes in you and believes in that dream too and can help guide you through the what ifs and the fears and how to release some of that so you can move one step closer toward that thing.
Hmm. Help you
Very
shift
cool.
the beliefs and help you see what's getting in your way. Sometimes that
Yeah.
person on the couch has no idea that they're in the monotony or that there's things missing or
Hmm.
that they're holding themselves back. You don't even know that you're scared or what you're scared of because you're not asking
Hmm.
those questions. And that's a good coach is going to ask the right questions, not give you the answers, but help
Hmm.
lead the horse to water and help guide you to your own answers to really find that alignment and set your soul on fire and
Yeah.
find passion and purpose in your life and to enjoy it and make it fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Shrylle, one thing I always ask my guests at the end of every episode is what's your favorite cocktail or a glass of wine? What do you like to enjoy as an adult beverage?
Well, I don't know if I mean, I've got a cup of coffee right here, but it's a little early
Well,
for
it's only
wine
noon.
and
It's lunchtime.
I'm if I'm drinking wine, you're gonna find me drinking a Pinot Noir. But I
Okay,
really know
nice.
next to nothing about wine. So maybe I could broaden my horizons with my new friend.
Happy to help.
Um, but usually you'll find me sipping on a delicious craft beer or
Oh,
a
nice.
a light gin cocktail of some kind.
Oh, yeah. Summertime thing. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
What's your favorite craft beer?
Oh gosh.
Do you lean more towards like the IPA, the bitter, or
My
more like
husband
a
kind of always teases me because in the summertime, I really like the IPAs and those are
yes?
crisp, refreshing. But
Uh-huh.
as soon as like school season, fall starts to hit, you'll find me
Mhm.
drinking a nut brown ale or the stouts or the some Oktoberfest, but more of those
Yeah.
brown stout porter
Yes.
style beers, and that'll
You
get
are
me
my
until
people.
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I have water right now, but yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I switch between summer and winter too. I like summertime. If I'm drinking wine, it's going to be a crisp white, or if it's beer, it's IPA. I don't drink beer very often, but if when in Rome or Oktoberfest or wherever you are,
Yeah.
drink that. But yeah, I'm a stout girl too. I love the big black ales and yeah. Mm.
Is wine generally your go-to? And has it
Yeah,
always been? Or was it just grew with your business?
it kind of grew with my business. I mean, I started drinking wine with my sister-in-law, who wasn't my sister-in-law yet, back, oh gosh, 25 years ago or so, I went to an event for work, with clients, and you're out wining and dining them, literally. And my boss ordered a bottle of wine, and it was a red. And I had not, my experience with wine at that point was Seagram's Golden wine coolers. That tells you anything. Yeah. So that was it. So, we're at this dinner with clients, and you're trying to be cool, and luckily I'm sitting next to him. I'm like, this is warm. It's warm, Yeah, I had a lot to learn. So that's kind of why I started, testing out what's wine all about and learning about it and stuff. So my sister-in-law Shrylle and I would have wine together, and I guess just learned about it. And then when Jeff and I got married, we went on a trip to we had airline points, for we had to use by the end of the year. They were expiring, and let's go to wine country. It sounds romantic. It's really So we went to California, to Napa, Sonoma, and we thought it was going to be this cheap trip, and it ended up being the most expensive trip we've ever been on, because we ended up buying. We had 16 cases of wine arrived within the next couple of weeks that we had shipped home, and we joined like 7 wine clubs. We went all in.
And so it begins.
And so it began. Yeah, we went off the deep end there for a minute, but or maybe longer. But yeah, I love wine, obviously, but I do like a good cocktail too. Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's a fun little way to put a fun little question to ask at the end.
Yeah. Oh, so do you have a memory with girlfriends, like having a good time chatting over wine or a cocktail?
Oh gosh, I have a core group of girlfriends who I've been friends
Yeah.
with since we met between like 2007 and 2009. And we still every year get together at least once a year, sometimes twice.
Yeah.
And we play and do crafts and sing
I
music
love
and
it.
dance and have a few cocktails. And so I've
Mm-hmm.
got oodles of memories with that group of
Mm,
girls.
I love that. Girlfriends are so important.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on the other side of the state now, and I'm so grateful for Facebook and Messenger and FaceTime.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll Skype together, excuse me, but it really isn't the same as face-to-face, in-person connection with
Yeah.
the girls.
Yeah. Especially if you are able to do like an overnighter or a weekend together. That's always so restorative.
I hosted in April. The girls all came out here and we had a little slumber party for a couple days, and
Oh, nice.
some of the things I mentioned, karaoke, crafts, bike rides, all the fun
Oh,
stuff. So
awesome. Love that. Yeah. That's another thing we need to do more of, is time like that with our girls.
hmm it's hard to plan, but even if you can ask your girlfriend to go grocery shopping with you, like if you have
Yeah.
that blessing and they're in your town, just
Yeah.
having someone to do errands with is
Yeah.
come sit on the
Makes
couch
it.
with me while I watch TV and fold laundry. Cool. Count me in.
Yeah. Talk with me. Yeah. Let's go.
Totally.
Nice. Well, okay. So, Shrylle, where can people find you to connect if they're curious about your courses or your coaching one-on-one? And like, where will people find you?
Sure. The place I'm most active is on Facebook. So facebook.com/Shrylle.Mikkonen. My name is kind of a mouthful, but
And how, like, go ahead and spell it for people, because if they're just listening and aren't watching on YouTube, they won't see your spelling.
sure.
I'll include it in the show notes too, though. If you guys want to see it, you can check out the show notes.
Perfect. So my name is spelled Shrylle, period. And then my last name, Mikkonen, Mikkonen. So there's not too many Shirelles out there that spell it that way. So if you can figure out how to spell Shrylle, you'll probably find me.
Yeah.
And I do have a website as well. It's alignlifeworks.com. That's a little easier to spell. And my Facebook is linked there. So reach out, send me a message if you want to chat or connect, or you want help. I do offer one-on-one coaching. I have single coaching sessions available. If you're looking for somebody to come speak at either a corporate event or to your small business team, or at a private retreat, I'd love to contribute there and collaborate and see how I can be supportive.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shrylle. It's been really great meeting you and getting to know you a little bit. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate your time.
likewise. I'm glad we could connect, and I'm excited to listen to a little bit more of your podcast and
Thank you.
see where else our new friendship takes us, Penny.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
That's a wrap on another spirited episode of Penny for Your Shots, conversations and cocktails with brilliant women. I hope you've enjoyed the intoxicating blend of wisdom, wit, and wonder that these incredible women bring to the table. Check out the show notes for links to resources referenced in today's episode. And remember to subscribe and raise a glass with me every Thirsty Thursday as we continue to serve up inspiration, celebrate resilience, and reignite the passions that set our souls on fire. If you've loved what you've heard, please share the podcast far and wide and leave a sparkling 5-star review to let me know your thoughts. It would also help tremendously if you would visit pennyforyourshots.com and subscribe to learn when new episodes are available and pick up my free recipe. In the meantime, remember that your story deserves to be served and savored. Cheers to your brilliance and of women everywhere. Until next time, keep sipping and experiencing life's extraordinary moments. This is Penny for Your Shots, signing off with a clink and a toast to us. Cheers.